So I gotta represent the home.
We ain't mad at you.
There we go.
Hometown. I think, you know, I'm an Ohio boy.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Technology.
Ladies and gentlemen, Detroit bass player is doing his Detroit bass player interview with another Detroit bass player from Ohio, but nevertheless he's still a Detroit bass player.
That's right, that's right.
And we got in the house, in the bass house, Mr. Larry Lee.
All right.
Not only do we have Larry Lee in here, who we about to do an interview with, we also got my man here.
Up close and personal.
We got David Allen Nichols. And then we also got back there, I forget his name. Homeboy Home. We got Mr. T. Wash. And then
we on Bassman Power.
Hey man, I got that on my business card.
We also got in the house Miss Daryl Lee.
Daryl Lee.
Any relation to Larry Lee?
Just bass brothers. Bass cousins. That's right. Brothers under the string.
And we all hanging out in the bass house, which is
yes, sir.
Newly appointed as administrator to the Detroit bass players, Mr. Reggie Canty, who's got the bass house.
I'd like to also mention that Mr. Larry Lee was also appointed.
Mr. Larry Lee is also appointed.
Yeah.
Now, man, I got so many questions for you, because first of all, I'm going to go off format here, man. What in the heck is that you playing right there?
This is, the guy that made it is a guy named Ron Couts from Romeo, Michigan. It's called HMR Guitars. But it's a design I created, shaped like the NFL shield. I'm a former NFL player and executive, so I shaped it like the NFL shield with the football headstock.
Yeah,
so it's just kind of like with the little football inlays, a little something, little silly and thing I created.
Yeah, NFL. You say you played with the NFL, National Football League?
I spent 18 years in the NFL. I played for 9 with the Lions, the Dolphins, and the Broncos, and then I was vice president of the Lions for 9 years during.
Wow, man. Yeah, well, the football players represent the bass guitar, Detroit bass players.
Right.
That's a muscle, you know. You know, guitar player.
Yeah, it's like a Wayman Tisdale type of thing going on there, you know?
I've done a lot of shows with Wayman, several shows. Hate to see him, you know, gone.
Yeah, we all do. Hey, so when did you start playing bass? I mean, when did you start?
I started playing bass around 6th grade, man. What happened, at the time in Dayton, Ohio, this had to be 71, 72 or something. You know, Ohio players had just gotten on the map, and and my brother was friends with all of them. So in our neighborhood, we decided to start a band, and all of us for Christmas said we're going to get different instruments. One of my boys got drums, the other one got a guitar, I got a bass. And so we just tried to start off a little local band, but at the time, though, like I said, Dayton was really getting on the map with with all the rest of our homeboys, Ohio players, Lakeside, Heat Wave, Roger Troutman, Ohio players. We all kind of grew up together. Same neighborhood, pretty much.
Dig. So, what happened, man? Did you keep playing?
Yeah, well.
Did you join any of those
bands? I kept playing
bands?
in high school. I played in a couple groups. One was called Soul Explosion, and they ended up becoming New Horizons, who Roger signed, and they put out a couple of songs. But my senior year in high school, I was forced to make a decision. You know, the manager of our group said, "Larry, what are you going to do? You going to play ball, or you going to, continue to play bass?" And I told him, "Well, I'm gonna go play ball." So I ended up.
Oh.
So I put my bass down for a long time, man. I was fortunate enough to be a pretty good football player. So I went to UCLA on a football scholarship and played out there and got drafted by the Lions in '81. So I played for the Lions from '81 to '85, and then I went to the Miami Dolphins from '86 to '87, and ended up with the Denver Broncos from '87 to '90. And all that time, didn't play a bass, put it down, didn't touch it or anything. And so when I became vice president of Lions in '93, from '93 to 2001, I was in the front office of the Lions during those Barry Sanders, Herman Moore years and all that stuff.
Oh, you was there with Otis Canty.
Yeah, Otis, yeah.
That's my cousin.
Oh, okay, yeah, Otis, that was my mentor, man.
Yeah.
And,
Chris is my cousin, too.
Okay, yeah, okay. And so I did that. And, when the Fords had a brighter idea to hire Matt Millen, he came in and fired all of us. So I said, with my credentials, I'll be working on with the next team in a matter of weeks or a month or so. And as it turned out, a year went by. No other team wanted my wares, I guess. So I picked my bass back up and started playing again, and I got a good friend we all know, Robert Penn, who plays blues.
The Detroit guitar player, or should I say Inkster.
And he was just on the Unsung series as David Ruffin's band leader and all that stuff. Robert was in that show last night.
Oh, I didn't even say I catch it some.
So I met Robert when I was playing for the Lions. Robert played in the orchestra that played in the Lions games, and one day we were in a huddle. You probably wonder what goes on in the huddle. We're in the huddle, and it's a TV timeout, and they give, I didn't know Robert at the time, they give this guitar player a solo, right? Now, he's up there killing the guitar, so I'm sitting in there in the huddle going, man, that brother killing that guitar. So, I'm like jamming to him, being a musician. So finally, when the game was over, I ran into him in the tunnel and introduced myself, and that was like 1982, and we've been boys ever since. So when I got back, picked my bass back up, I used to go see Robert play and sit in with him every now and then. And after picking it back up, Robert said, man, why don't you come play with me? So I played with Robert for about 2 years. We did the blues, primarily. But when I played with Robert, he would go all over the place, but still, primarily blues. And that's what I talked to him about, starting my own band. And I got to give credit to Kerry Lacey, because I was talking to Kerry back in the day. That was in the 83 or 84.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that's when I first met Kerry. But then later, when I picked my bass back up, I was telling Kerry I might start a band. So Kerry said, Larry, man, we all are blessed, but some of us don't manage our blessings as well as others. He said, man, you blessed. You know how to play a bass guitar. You know everybody. You were at that certain level in the NFL. Why don't you put together a band? I think you'd be surprised at what might happen. And so me and Kerry sat down and kind of formulated what I thought my band would look like. And I went around to a bunch of jam sessions and found different guys. And here I am. This will be my 10th year. In August, it'll be 10 years that I've had a group. And
what's the name of your group?
Larry Lee and Back in the Day, or Back in the Day Band, either or.
Right, yeah. I heard them, man. You guys sound wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm looking forward to coming see. I'm looking forward to coming see.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward.
Coming from Dayton, and 75% of what we do is going to be that old school funk and all that stuff,
Right. So, where can any place we can look and see where we can find you and come and see?
I got a website, backinthedayband.com. You can go there and hear us and see us and keep up with our schedule and the whole thing. And then we play all over the place. We, you know, summertime we really are out. We go out sometime with Brian McKnight and Chaka Khan, and I do that cruise thing. So we've been blessed, man. It's grown up. We do a lot of corporate stuff, you know, a lot of high-end corporate stuff.
Any bass players inspire you out there that you?
Sure. Well, growing up, you know, obviously, you know, like I said, in Dayton, you know, I was big, obviously, Ohio Players fan. So Marshall Jones and Rock Jones from Ohio Players, you know, was actually a friend of my brother. So I got to know Marshall. But as I started playing more, you know, the older cats, you know, the Verdine Whites, the Larry Grahams. I'm really a big Larry Graham fan, man. Huge Larry Graham fan. Now, as I progressed and came on a little bit more, obviously, you get into Marcus Miller and Victor Wooten and those guys. But I'm still, if I had to pattern or say who I pattern myself as, probably Larry Graham. You know, the thumb and the whole rhythm thing with the thumb, and you know, Larry Graham. I'm a big Larry Graham fan.
Dig, me too, man. It's one of my all-time favorites, Larry Graham.
Yeah.
Well, of course, a whole bunch of us got molded after Larry Graham, especially the Thumpers. You know,
yeah, the Thumpers. But Verdine White, man, and like I was saying, we were talking before we went on camera, man. But Grand Funk Railroad, you know, Don Brewer and those guys from. I'm a big Grand Funk Railroad fan. I'm a music fan, period. My music collection is ridiculous, and I just listen to I'm all over the place, man. I can go from Black Sabbath, Uriah Heep, Deep Purple, you know, all that kind of stuff to you know, George Duke but the biggest one, I'm the biggest P-Funk fan on the planet.
Right, that's the Detroit band
stuff, man. P-Funk. I'm a big P-Funk fan.
Dig.
Yeah.
So how did you find out about the Detroit Bass Players page? What made you come to it?
I found out from Kerry. You know, Kerry was telling me that there was a page, and this was when it first started, maybe a year or two ago, year and a half ago. And so I joined instantly because I'm pretty big on Facebook too. I'm on Facebook a lot and keep up with everything.
I think you got so many friends on your Facebook page, you can't even have no more friends.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm at the limit, so I got to figure out a second page or something else. But yeah, I'm at the limit.
I barely got on his page, man. Barely got on it. I barely made it. 1,999.
I made it years ago. So yeah,
I don't think I'm on there.
I think I'm on there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I think I'm on there.
I barely made it. I made the cut. Master tour, huh?
I gotta somehow, you know, get that second page going or something now.
You have a personal page for yourself and then have one for the band.
Yeah.
Two different pages.
Right.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. So that's what made you get on. Now, what you think about it? You know,
I love it, man. It's like Daryl said, it's a chance for. I've often said in all my travels and when I go around the place, I brag about Detroit bass players because, you know, a lot of musicians aren't that friendly or aren't as cool. But I have not found. I can't think of one, man. And then our Detroit bass player community, man, we're all friends, buddies. We exchange ideas. So it's not like a competition thing where you're afraid to show somebody else, you know, a lick or something. We all pump one another up. We all share secrets, equipment, and I've kind of taken that all over the place wherever I travel. And so now, you know, it's become when we took the picture that was taken in front of Hitsville, I put that all out, man. So I got all the cats in Dayton like jealous, you know, because they all saying, man, that's sweet how Detroit bass players now they want to start a Dayton bass player, the Dayton guitar player thing, and so it's real cool. So all that to say, Detroit bass players got a unique community, man. We're all cool, and there's no animosity, no jealousy. You know,
we got a high curve here. We have a history of producing world-class bass players for the last 30 years.
Exactly.
Since the instrument was invented.
And I say all the time, I'm really blessed, man, because I grew up in Dayton, so I had a chance to experience the Dayton, Ohio scene with all them cats, and then come to Detroit and experience this Detroit scene with all you cats, and so I I've had the best of both worlds, man. You know, that funk thing in Dayton was huge. Now, one of these days, I'd love to have a caravan of us go down to Dayton and hang out with some of my boys down there and do a big thing, man. And maybe that's something to think about.
Yeah, it is.
That's something to think about.
We need to do that here first.
Here first.
Yeah, we take it down there. Because all the guys, a lot of those guys from those groups, they live out of town, but around holiday season, Thanksgiving and Christmas, we have a big jam session in Dayton where all the cats from Lakeside, Slave, Heatwave, Hall players, they all come home, and it's a big thing there. But you know, like here, you're gonna get the jazz and your Motown, and we gonna funk it up. We gonna stank it up. That's what we do. We funk it up.
Dig, is there anything that you wanted to say before you play us out, man?
No, other than, man, just like Daryl said, man, you know, wake up, open my eyes, thank the Lord every day. He gave me another one, and I'm really having a blast right now because, you know, all the years of football, now to come back and I was really a musician that could play football instead of a football player that was a musician. I love music. I am a music nut. I'm doing my passion right now. I'm doing my passion right now. Ain't nothing like being on that stage and play, and I'm blessed. It's my band, you know, and sometimes I do a big show and I still, you know, kind of scratch my head and go, huh? You know, thank you, Lord. Like last year we opened up for Chaka Khan, and I went, you know, to the backstage, and there's a trailer that says Chaka Khan, and there's a trailer with Larry Lee on, and I go, huh? Really? You know, every now and then it gets me, man. You know, I know I'm getting a little long with it, but I got to tell this story. About 4 years ago, we opened up for the OJs at Arts, Beats, and Eats. And man, it was my epiphany, man. I'm on stage, and there had to be about 10,000 people in front of us. Back when it was in Pontiac up there, we had the place rocking, and Eddie Levert and them were on the side pointing and jamming with me. And I just kind of shed a tear, man. I turned my back to the audience and said, Lord,
so
thank you.
You can cry, huh?
Yeah, man. I ain't
Tears of joy. Tears of joy.
Tears of joy. I was like, thank you, Lord. You know, I'm jamming, and it's my group, and we jamming like this, and got some great guys in my band. All your Detroit cats have been with a lot of these groups, Temptations, Four Tops, Spinners, you know.
Yeah, I got a lot of pros in the house right now, man. Love it. Pros and
right.
Lisa Joe. See, look at all these pro bass players. Did anybody have a question that they might want to ask this fine bass player, Mr. Larry Lee?
Yeah,
anybody?
I got a question. I got a bunch of questions for you. But I'm gonna keep it short, man. But I just want to say this. This Saturday, I came down and checked Larry and them out after my gig, you know, because I come down there really to tease him on Saturday, because just to let you know that my gig's over early, and when he gets done, I'll be in bed asleep. But no, I come down there, man. Larry be having so much fun, man, when he be playing with that group he got, man. He got one of the funkiest keyboard players, man.
Who is that?
His name is John Sadler. Actually, he's in the Gospel Hall of Fame on keyboards.
Yeah, that reminds as
a member of Bill Moss and the Celestials, Jay Moss's dad, he played with him for 30 years, and they're in the Gospel Hall of Fame. And John's one of the funkiest keyboard players around. Yeah.
But what I wanted to say is, when I come down there, what I like about Larry, he always acknowledges people when they come. Most cats, you know, they don't acknowledge these in Detroit. They don't acknowledge one another because they think negative. Like, you come to take the gig, you say, "Oh, T-Wash in the house." They ain't gonna mention T-Wash. This dude, man, you know. But Larry Lee comes in. And my boy didn't call me his mentor. He called me his mentor. I didn't know. That's my mentor. He called everybody his mentor, man.
You know why I call him a mentor? Because I steal licks from all.
That's what we do.
That's what we do, man.
It's education. Actually,
It is.
it's free base lessons.
I still lick from them all.
That's what I like about it. You always acknowledge people when they come in. I don't care who. If it's Fast Freddy coming down through there, Fast Freddy, you always.
We did that Saturday. We had fun with Freddy Saturday.
You know, it's not Jerry. And the cat, and you don't see this much at Motor City. Only what I see with Larry Lee. He bring up cats, let them come up and sing. You know, whatever they do, Fast Freddy teaching people how to dance. But, you know, it's a good time. You come down.
Yeah.
That brings up one question I have for you.
Yeah.
Did I read somewhere that that every year Detroit, what is it called, Detroit Music Awards?
Mm-hmm.
And I heard that you was voted the best Detroit bass player at one time.
Yeah, 2007 or something like that. Yeah, but I guess I did. Yeah.
Did you accept the award? Or what?
I accepted it. I got it. Yeah, 2007.
I didn't know that, man.
Yeah, 2007. Yeah.
Right. But what? Voted Detroit's best bass player.
Yeah. Well,
that's saying something, dude.
Yeah, but take the award.
I'll take it, but
take the award.
That's right. I take mine.
That's right.
I paid off the right people.
All right, man. Well, like everybody else, I don't want to keep you on stuff, man. So why don't you play something that help you win that award?
Let's see. I'm just old school. I keep the pocket.
That's some of that cameo right there. Like Vegas.
Yeah. What's that? Old school.
Woo! That's right.
Take it to the break.
Right?
Yeah, that's what our Detroit bass player.
You're going to turn it to a spot.
All right.
Let the funk in your heart, baby. Funk not only cures, it have cures. Bye-bye. Let's get drop it off
into some funk. Okay, we got Larry Lee. And we got Mr. T. Washington going to do the Byron Miller Detroit bass player solo.
Too much rumble. Now that's a bass line. That's Byron Miller, right?
Right.
Detroit bass player.
Yeah, that's good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank Mr. Larry Lee for his interview. Who just dropped his bass.
Hey, hold on before you get to the picture of that ring right there, man. Bam! Bam!
What is that right there?
That's an AFC championship ring. That's what you get when you lose the Super Bowl. I was with the Broncos and we lost to the Redskins. Y'all remember when Doug Williams?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I played in that game. I was on the wrong sideline.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks Detroit bass player Mr. Larry Lee.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.